Christianity, when it's convenient, as dating leverage. Never thought we would get to this point in regards to the dating market, but we're here. If you guys have been following my content for a while now, you know that I've been investing more time into getting to know the Bible a little bit more. So I actually told myself that before I decided to get married, I needed to get closer to God, which is why, I take an interest in certain Christian conversations on YouTube to see if I can see a difference in regards to how they approach these topics. And so far, I found none. And what I watched was nothing different. I have yet to see a Christian platform that you can sit there and point and be like, hey, what makes them different from this black woman that hates black men? Or what makes this man different from black men who don't like black women or don't like black men? The only thing is that they'll mask it and say, I'm a Christian platform. But that does not absolve you from the underlying hate that you have for black men and also for black women in some cases. More so, I see that on black women's side. And that's why we're here, because I seen a video where I went into it in good faith. But I spent maybe about 10 minutes listening to a Christian married woman berate men.
Modern men widely don't treat women like women, mainly because modern men are discouraged from being self-actualized men. Men have been so demoralized by secularism, androgyny, hypersexualization, adult content, and the villainization of masculinity that they don't really view women as women anymore, which is why you often hear dejected, demoralized, red-pilled men refer to us as females instead of women. I don't like the red-pilled manosphere, but they are being honest when they talk like that because they see us as mere females. That's why modern men so often only do the bare minimum for women romantically. They see women as the bare minimum of what we are. We're not women to them. We're male light to them. We're just technically female, and that's it. That is why these kinds of demoralized red pill men don't see the benefit of treating women that well. If you brought up the concept of treating a woman like she's a princess to a bitter red-pilled man, he'd probably laugh in your face and think that any man who'd treat a woman like that is automatically a simp. I mean, those men don't even see the benefit of giving women sexual loyalty. And yes, it's partly because they're selfish, but it's also because these men have been so demoralized to the point where they don't see the feminine in women anymore.
And since she's a black woman, we can assume that she was talking about black men. And I want to be clear on this. You guys know that I don't ask for respect from women on my platform. I don't care about a woman's preference. That's none of my concern. And I damn sure would never ask some strange ass woman who obviously hates black men to hold herself accountable for the things that she says on her own platform. Once you gain a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube, it's fair to say that someone is gaining value from what you're saying. So even though there's a subtle or overt hatred of men and it's supposed to be Christian, but that particular woman is doing an amazing job at it, because she has a large amount of followers or subscribers that listen to her message. But the funny thing is, and you guys know this, that's not my purpose for being on YouTube. My purpose is to put out black relationship fires, and especially the topic of celibacy, because there's too many black women going around saying that men are telling them that they obligated to have sex with the man if they've ever had sex before or if they have children. Also, there's a lot of black men that don't believe they have a choice when a woman mushes this newfound celibacy in their faces. So as a way of getting what she wants, this is what women are starting to do, because they don't want men to get what they want, because they know that men want sex and they want a relationship. And that goes back to me saying the dating market is all a game, because the way today's women use celibacy, it has absolutely nothing to do with Christianity. And I need women to pay attention to that statement specifically, especially if you're a Christian woman who's on your own platform and you're telling women to take sex off the table and be celibate or abstinent. It has nothing to do with religion. You're using it as leverage. You might as well call yourself Mr. Steve Harvey, because this is the same play that Steve Harvey told women to do with that damn 90-day rule.
You should withhold your benefit. We're going to call it a benefit from a man that you first meet for 90 days.
But men finally caught on to it. We have our spaces and we implemented strategies and rules to get past that. So if you're going to be one of these content creators that are telling women to take sex off the table, then you better do your research and add context to that conversation. But since you didn't do it, I'm here and we're going to talk about it. Abstinence and celibacy both focus on abstaining from various types of sexual behavior. Both can be time limited or indefinite, although abstinence is more likely to be time limited until someone is in a committed relationship or until they are married. Both abstinence and celibacy have roots in certain religious and cultural beliefs. However, celibacy isn't as common as abstinence. So based off of that definition, saying that you're celibate is actually wrong. It's actually you're practicing abstinence because that's for a specific time limit. And typically what these women say is yeah, I'm going to be celibate until marriage. No, you're being abstinent, or you're quote unquote being abstinent. And then also at the bottom of that, it says this has religious and cultural beliefs. What? From what Bible? From what religion? Because that's not what men see on this dating market. And that's why these conversations needs to be had under the umbrella of a modern dating approach. And a lot of people don't do that. Yes, you can refer to the Bible. It's cool. I did as well. I have the knowledge we're about to share here in a second. But don't sit there and just make a blanket statement and talk about celibacy and taking sex off the table until marriage after you've been running through these damn streets for damn 5, 6, 7 years. You can say that, but don't think that men gonna sit there and take up for that foolery. But I got real-time solutions for both parties, for both men and women. Abstinence is an intentional decision to avoid something, such as having sex. We're talking about relationships, leverage, and it's typically used for sex. Some people choose abstinence before getting married. However, you can abstain from anything, including drugs, certain types of food, unwanted behaviors. Celibacy refers to intentionally avoided sex-related activity. Some may decide to stay celibate for a certain amount of time or their entire lives. So let's break this down for the ladies here. Sexual related activity. That includes your rose gadget. So if you're actually really celibate, you should not be engaging in playing with your damn self. Did you know that, ladies, that try and throw out this celibacy journey type foolery? Yeah. So I'm going to hold y'all asses accountable. So if you're going to throw this shit out there and try and make men acquiesce to your plan, then I'm going to tell you the truth. You're wrong. I'm pretty sure that the ninja watching ladies didn't know that I was going to come at it from this angle. You thought that you was going to get somebody that's going to come up here and be disrespectful and ignorant and argue with y'all. But y'all forget that I have multiple friends that know the Bible way better than me. And I already, consulted with them. They sent me scriptures, everything. So we're going to come at it from that standpoint instead of sitting there trying to have one of these uneducated conversations where I'm sitting there calling women 304s. No, it may be true, but you ain't going to get it from me.
But I ain't one to gossip, so if anyone asks you, you ain't heard it from me. No, you haven't.
I'm going to tell you the truth and what the Bible say, what you supposed to be following. Right, ladies? Your celibacy ass. Now, let's talk about what the Bible says. So this is actually an explanation on the topic. So the Bible doesn't dwell on the sin of fornication because such behavior was, in the minds of biblical authors, clearly and obviously wrong. We see this assumption in several places. According to Exodus 22:16 through 17, the man who has sex with a non-engaged virgin should make her his wife. Did y'all hear the word virgin in there? Yeah. Indicating that sexual intercourse is a covenant forming activity, not to be entered into part from the covenant bonds of marriage. Likewise, according to Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21, if a woman has sex before marriage, she is put in the same category as a prostitute. The same category as a prostitute. The Torah does not allow sex before marriage. Now, to all these women that's going out here and you're entering this celibacy journey, that is your right. You can do whatever you please. But just know, you already got kids, you've had sex before, you are going against what the Bible says. So you can enter it, become a born-again virgin, whatever y'all want to call it, but don't expect men to acquiesce to your plan. They don't have to stay. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm here, so I can educate men on this particular topic, because I hate to see it being used so frivolously on these social media platforms. So we all know that the Bible is against it. And you guys, you've been, like I said, you've been following my platform. You know that I'm getting more closer to God because I'm getting married. And I think my mom, she would have been proud of me because she was a very religious woman and she always wanted me to get closer to God. So yes, I do have my books where it explains the Bible. I have my Bible that I've had with me. It's been on each and every of my 10 deployments. That's why it looks so tattered. My mom actually gave me this, right? So yeah, I did my research and I also reached out to my homeboy who is far more educated in regards to religion and the Bible than me. And he gave me some points to discuss on this topic as well. And I know that there is a lot more people who don't believe in God, but I'm not one of them. There may have been times where I've been deployed and I've been to certain places and I've done certain things where I used to say, God is not here. And I would question. And it took me a while to understand that that's normal for somebody that's trying to find their way into getting closer to God. And I'm not trying to make this a religious, live stream or whatever, but I just want to make sure that the women who are looking for a fight in regards to this topic of celibacy, you're not going to get it here because you're dealing with an educated black man. So sit back and learn something, because it obviously, the way y'all present this information, you haven't learned anything yet. And some people just ain't looking for solutions. They just want to see the world burn. And I find that a lot of our women, black women, they're fighting us. They're fighting black men. Men are fighting against the gender war. At least I know I am. It has nothing to do with black women other than the fact that I see a lot of them lying on us or calling us out of our name. And then that's why you got me here to level set the conversation. Because, yeah, it does. It does get frustrating when you see this stuff and you know that these women are educated. You know that they're smart enough to go on Google and see what you're saying is true or false. They know that men can't force them into having sex. They know this, but yet they still continue to push this damn narrative by thinking that that's what men are saying. No, y'all making yourselves look ignorant for no reason. I think it's about time where we set the table for this conversation and why me as a black man is having this discussion. And it's based off of what I see on social media with women using celibacy when it's convenient. And you know where the best place to get these examples from? The Kendra G Show. Women, pay attention. And then you'll understand why men are hesitant when y'all say that foolery. Let's cook.
Yes, I do. I have 4 children. I have 4 children and 2 grandchildren. Well, I'll say 1 if possible.
Okay, all right.
4 children, 2 grandchildren. Let's continue.
The same man?
No, 2 dads.
2 dads.
2 fathers, 2 different fathers. Let's continue.
Yes, I didn't want to have sex before marriage. And we've had sex 4 times in 2 years we were together. I know that time, the date, and everything. I know when I got pregnant. He got drunk, threw a fit, kept touching on me. He was at my home. I literally just gave it to him and got pregnant.
Okay, so let me explain what she's saying here. She's saying that the guy that got it, one of the guys that got her pregnant, he was whining about not having sex with her because she didn't want to have sex before marriage. So he kept bugging her, complaining. He was drunk, and she was like, "Oh, fine, go ahead and have sex." And she ended up getting pregnant twice. I'm not here to say that she's lying or not. But all I'm saying is, if that dude forced himself on you, he should be in jail right now. You should not be on this show complaining about him just taking it from you. That's a crime, ma'am. Go turn that brother in. Even though that's a father of your children and you didn't want that to happen, right? This is what you're telling Kendra G. He should be in jail. But you're here now and you're talking about it like it's nothing. Let's continue.
So, but it's been 5 years. I haven't been intimate with somebody for 5 years.
You want to be celibate until marriage.
So I just started to be single.
So are you on a celibacy journey to marriage?
I am.
Now, ladies, pay attention. Did you hear what she just said? I just told you guys, this woman has 4 kids already. 4. Now she's saying, I want to be celibate until marriage. Again, that's her right. So, throughout this whole conversation, I want the women who oppose me talking about this, I want you to imagine that this was your brother or this was your son that was about to date one of these women that told him, hey, I know I got 4 kids by 2 different men, but now I'm celibate until marriage. And you better deal with it. You better stick around. And if you don't, you're not worthy of being a prince. You're not worthy of being a good man because you said that you wouldn't stick around to be with me while I'm celibate, while my buckaroos running around. So ladies, imagine that this was your brother and this is your son. What advice would you give them? All right, let's continue. We're not done. We definitely not done.
Absolutely. Okay. And that mistake I won't make anymore.
Okay. Now, this might seem invasive. Are you practicing celibacy till marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, she said I'm practicing celibacy until marriage. The next thing out of her mouth should be, yeah, I'm a virgin, and that's what the Bible says. Christianity says that you shouldn't have sex before marriage. That's what's supposed to happen, right? Am I clear on that? Let's see what she has to say.
Okay. Do you want to share how long you've been celibate for?
I've been celibate, honestly. At the beginning of this year, I was at about the 14-month mark. And I do want to be transparent and say that I did end up slipping up. But subsequently, since then, I've restarted my celibacy. And
You see that? Ladies, are you paying attention? That woman just said she was celibate for 14 months. She slipped up, fell on somebody's weenie.
Girl, I didn't plan to. It just sort of happened. You just sort of slipped and fell on his dick.
Yeah.
And now she back to 7 months. You see how this shit works? You see how I'm talking about using Christianity when it's convenient or using it as dating leverage? Ladies, y'all need to damn pay attention to this. Instead of blaking statements out there talking about, oh yeah, just take sex off the table. These women out here lying. All right? And again, she has every right to say that. I'm celibate. I don't want to have sex. Cool. Just had sex 7 months, but who are we to judge? You do what you do. It is what it is. So they do it when it's convenient. So basically, it's not that they're being celibate or abstinent. They're just in between relationships. Or they're in between dicks. They're in between attractive men. So when another one comes around, then that breaks your celibacy journey. And again, we are all imperfect creatures. Everybody messes up. But one thing you will not do is hold men to task and staying when we know that you've been out there running around and you use celibacy as a way to control a man's dating options. Absolutely not. Won't happen here. Let's continue.
I'm going into about 7 months at the top of the year.
And is the goal marriage or relationship?
Marriage. 100%. I'll be 32 next year, so that would be best birthday gift.
Right. So that's kind of where I am. Like I'm
So I'm not even gonna comment on this woman, but let's continue.
literally waiting till marriage or waiting till a commitment like marriage. So really waiting till marriage because I'm just not gonna, I'm just not gonna do it anymore.
And now you just threw out there that you also do not want to have sex until you are married.
Yes.
So you want to, because I remember you mentioned travel, right?
Yes.
So you want to travel. Let's just throw out, I'll use Mexico. So you want to travel to a place like Mexico together, nice sun, him paying for you, but you guys are not going to have sex while you're in Mexico.
Absolutely. If we're dating for marriage, there shouldn't be a problem with that.
Now you hear what this woman said? She has 2 kids already as well, but she expects a man to pay for her travel. So like Kendra G said, she used the example of Mexico. You go to Mexico with this woman if you're attracted to her. I don't know y'all preferences. It is what it is. Y'all go to Mexico, you share a room. She's expecting you for paid for all the travel, but you can't get no booty while you out there because we dating for marriage, even though you footing the bill on these damn trips. That's what she's saying as a woman who already has children, right? And this portion is, honestly mainly for women, because I know there's a lot of men who have finally caught on, and it's a good thing. But we're going to continue. Let's cook.
Because Kendra, the thing is, he can't afford to pay for me, right? If he's paying for sex, he can't afford to pay me.
Do you want to get married again, Hope?
Kendra, I think right now I'm going to hold off for that.
You was married to your first husband, got with your second husband, left your second husband, and was legally bound to him for 16 years.
At this point, I want to live a celibacy life. I'm there. I can truly say I'm there. I'm not going to say I don't feel it every now and then, but I don't react on it. Because I'll be 50 on the 29th. So why haven't learned all this time? I mean, my God, when am I going to get it? I feel like I'm there. I really do.
Now, I didn't know you were celibate. So how long are you celibate for?
Celibacy started, I would say about 6 months. About 6 months, I want to say.
So she's been celibate for 6 months. Congratulations to you, I guess. Let's continue.
And what's your goal? Well, we just break up with somebody 2 months ago?
Woman, well, hold on, listen.
No, 2 years. 2 years ago.
2 years, okay. So you celibate for 6 months. What's the goal of your celibacy?
The goal of my celibacy is, I started reading the Bible about fornication. I started studying what I want to work on. So I started reading the Bible about fornication, and it's not good. It's just like we harming our own bodies.
Keep in mind, again, we're imperfect people. But this woman already got kids, and she's talking about she just read the Bible. She's been having sex, just had sex 6 months ago. And she's saying, yeah, the Bible said that it wasn't good. Let's continue.
Because when you sleep with somebody, you're supposed to become one with that person. And then if that person that you're sleeping with is not married to you, he's sleeping with somebody else maybe, and then they're becoming one. And then you got this whole thing that's just a mess.
Okay, I'm following you. So
the goal
is
is
the goal
not
marriage
right now? No.
So the goal isn't even marriage for this woman, but she's saying that she's celibate. So basically, she wants a man to come in, take care of her, get nothing, and can't even get marriage out of her. What sense does this shit make? And I'm asking the ladies, God dang. Like, are y'all paying attention? Are y'all being obtuse to what the hell is going on? Do y'all hear this? Instead of sitting there trying to hate men, you need to start understanding men, especially if you're a married woman. Goodness gracious. Are y'all listening to this? Let's continue, man.
The goal.
What is the goal for you to have? Okay, so when would you have sex again? Are you never
I don't
having
plan
sex again?
to.
When was your last relationship?
My last serious relationship was 2021. I've dated here and there, but it just didn't work out. So
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
it's been a long time. I am celibate, so it's been
How
a
long you
bit,
been celibate for?
like 2 years.
Okay. Is the goal no more until marriage?
Until marriage. That's the goal. It's hard, Kendra, okay? Baby, let me tell you something.
So that was the last video, and trust and believe, I cut it off early because we could have been sitting on here watching this compilation video from Kendra G Guest saying that they're celibate now for damn near an hour. That's how many women she's had on her platform say that, hey, I want to be celibate. I've already been married. I already got kids. But now I want to, you're not going to get no booty from me because I'm a changed woman. So, and again, like I said, this segment is specifically for the women who hate black men because the narrative is that, oh, I'm going to listen to this and this guy is telling women that they supposed to have sex. No. Why would I even waste time? That's not a logical thing. No man can do that. But y'all need to sit your asses down and pay attention to what the hell is going on. None of these women mentioned anything about being a virgin. None of them were virgins. And you know how we know? They all had kids. And also they admitted it. The last time I had sex was 6 months ago, 2 years ago. At least she had 2 years under her belt. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. These conversations will never end if you ladies fail to acknowledge the truth. It's insane to me how y'all sit there and do this. And let me be clear, if there's any ladies that are unfamiliar with how these modern women use the no sex until marriage dynamic, let me go ahead and explain for you. For starters, please make sure if you're giving advice to these women, make sure that you are very clear and specifically talking to younger women who haven't had sex before. Because, if you talk to a woman that isn't a virgin, please make sure that you give her proper instructions on how to go about dating. Most women that implement this celibacy rule, they've already had sex. Y'all just seen it on the Kendra G compilation. And they also have children. So essentially, you're trying to get a man to agree to a rule that he doesn't practice because it's few and far between of guys that come on anybody's show or blatantly say that I'm celibate. You can call that being secular or whatever y'all want to call them, not Prince-like. It is what it is. So what does that woman need to do in order to find a man to get in her program? I'm going to explain that because I did a previous video and that basically explains how both parties can get what they want. And again, let me be clear. A woman has every right to enter into celibacy or abstinence, no matter if she's a virgin or not. But that does not mean that men have to agree. No woman is obligated to have sex with any man. But the focus of this live stream is to educate men who aren't practicing celibacy on what options they have when faced with a woman who is in her newfound Christianity celibacy journey. That's the whole purpose. So hopefully that clears up. And how many times have I said a woman is not obligated to have sex with a man? Maybe almost 10 times now. I'm without a shade. I'm running off another game. I can't feel nothing.